My dear students, Happy New Year! Wishing you the forthcoming 365 days of happiness, prosperity, healthiness, and full of academic, social, economic achievements during year 2021. New Year 2020 is an opportunity for a fresh beginning, for us to let go out of our past and embrace the future. It can also be a chance to contemplate on our mistakes and resolve to not make them again. May every day of this new year glow with happiness and cheer for you and your family. Hope so. A school will begin in some days. So, students, again, Happy New Year. Hello, friends. Welcome again in our teaching learning process through online teaching program of 2020-2021. Students, in our previous video, we took information of our histories lesson number 8, States after the Maurya Empire, in part 1. Today, we are going to our part number 2 of this lesson. We already know about the Shunga dynasty, Indo-Greek kings, Kushana kings. Students, now we are going to our next point number 8.4, the Gupta dynasty. The end of 3rd century CE saw the rise of the Gupta dynasty in North India, and Guptas remained in power for nearly 3 centuries. Sri Gupta was the founder of the Gupta dynasty. Samudragupta and Chandragupta II were the notable kings of the Gupta dynasty. See students, already we discussed about this. Now we are going to take information about one notable king, Samudragupta. The expansion of the Gupta Empire began during in his reign of Chandragupta I. His son Samudragupta defeated the smaller neighboring kingdoms and extended the empire further. See students, expansion of this empire already began during the reign of Chandragupta I, and his son Samudragupta defeated the other neighboring kingdoms. In his time, the Gupta Empire spread from Assam up to Punjab. He had also conquered the eastern coastal region up to Kanchi in Tamil Nadu. Due to these victories, his power came to be recognized everywhere. As a result, kings of the northwestern frontiers as well as those in Sri Lanka made treaties of friendship with him. Students, other neighboring countries who made treaties of friendship means they want to make friendship or a good relations with him, and a pillar inscription at Prayag describes Samudragupta's conquests and victories. If we decided to check that how these all things are true, then we can get it through a pillar inscription. Okay, this inscription is known as Prayag Prashasti and also as Allahabad Prashasti. He was an expert Veena player. He minted coins which had a variety of images engraved on them, and in one of them he is seen playing the Veena. His name Samudragupta is engraved on it, on that coin. Okay, see a gold coin of Samudragupta and both sides of that coin. Okay, now the second notable king from Gupta dynasty, who Chandragupta II. Students, after Samudragupta, his son Chandragupta II ascended the throne. Ascended the throne means now he is king of that empire. Okay, and he extended the Gupta Empire towards the northwest. He also won Malwa, Gujarat and Saurashtra. He established good relations with the powerful Vakataka rulers in the south by giving his daughter Prabhavati in marriage to Rudrasen II. So, he also maintained his good relations with his neighbors. There is an iron pillar at Mehrauli near Delhi. It has not rusted even in the course of the last 1500 years. Students, here is also one example of him, that is the iron pillar which is at Mehrauli. Okay, that is near Delhi. And rusted means what? Now also the red or the orange coating which forms on the surface of iron, yes or not, when exposed to air or because of moisture or consisting chiefly of ferric hydroxide, that is today also we can't see that, or that is a very proper example that we can understand how the Chandragupta II was powerful king. It is an excellent specimen of the metallurgical skill of the ancient Indian people. See students, the inscription on the pillar bears the name of a king called Chandra. It is on the basis that the iron pillar is assumed to be one of the or to be of the period of Chandragupta II. Assumed means to accept something to be true without question or a proof. Okay, so the pillars are a great proof, we can say like that, from their kingdom or when they was ruling in that area. So students, the Chinese traveler Fahian came to India during the reign of Chandragupta II. In Chandragupta II's period, in his region, when he was king, at that time the Chinese traveler whose name was Fahian, and he came in India, and that time in his travelogues he mentioned that the social life during the Gupta period. He says that Indian cities are big and prosperous. There are several guest houses for travelers and also several charitable organizations. The city has hospitals where the poor get medical treatment free of charge. There are great vihars and temples. People are free to choose any occupation. They move about freely. There are no restrictions on their movement. Government officers and soldiers are paid their salaries regularly. People do not drink alcohol or commit violence. The administration of the Gupta rule is conducted in a proper and the efficient manner. See students, this Chinese traveler Fahian who impressed from Gupta dynasty. Okay. Then, in this period, the Buddha Bhikkhu Fahian came to India from China. Already I told. He has written an account of his travels in India. From his writings, we learn about the efficient administration of the Gupta emperors. Now, 8.5, the Vardhan dynasty. With the decline of the Gupta power, many states emerged in North India. The Vardhan dynasty was one of them. And Prabhakar Vardhan was the king of Thanesar near Delhi. The Vardhan dynasty was founded by him. Means the Prabhakar Vardhan who was founder of Vardhan dynasty. His son Harshvardhan expanded the Vardhan Empire up to Nepal in the north, up to the river Narmada in the south, Assam in the east, and Gujarat in the west. He had cordial relations. Cordial means a pleasant or the friendly relations with Raja Bhaskar Varman of Kamrup, ancient Assam. He had also established a friendly relations with the Emperor of China and even sent his ambassador to the Chinese court. The capital of Harshvardhan's empire was Kanauj. Trade flourished during his reign. he spent a large proportion or a large portion of his revenue for the welfare of the people. Every 5 years, he would distribute all his wealth amongst the people. See, students, the Harshvardhan's work. We are studying about him, and he was a very, we can say, a very powerful king, as well as he is also a soft-hearted. He distributes his wealth. The court poet Bana Bhatta wrote Harshcharita, a biography of Emperor Harshvardhan. This text provides information on the life and the achievements of Harshvardhan. Harshvardhan had become a follower of Buddhism, but gave a generous patronage to other religions also. He wrote 3 Sanskrit plays, Ratnavali, Naganan, and Priyadarshika. The Buddhist bhikkhu Yuan Chuang had came to India from China during his regime. He travelled to all parts of India. He stayed at the Nalanda University for 2 years. On returning to his homeland, he translated many Buddhist manuscripts into Chinese. See, students, firstly I told you about Fahian. Now I am telling about Yuan Chuang. Yuan Chuang travelled all over India, and he has word of a praise for the people of Maharashtra. He writes, the people of Maharashtra are a proud people. They never forget a favor done to them, but they do not spare anyone who insults them. They will help another in distress without a care even for their own life. They do not harm anyone who takes refuge with them. See, students, these all words are of Yuan Chuang about Maharashtra. Now, we are going to take information about our 8.6 powers in Northeast India. A story in Mahabharata tells about the marriage of Arjuna and Lupi, the princess of Manipur state in East India. The state of Kamrup emerged in the 4th century CE, and it was established by Pushyavarman. His name has been mentioned in the pillar inscription of Samudragupta at Allahabad. Students, many inscriptions of the Kamrup kings are available. These are proofs. The epics Mahabharata and Ramayana use the name Pragjyotisha for Kamrup. The capital of that state was Pragjyotishpur. Today, we know it as the city of Guwahati in Assam. Students, in the book Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, Kamrup is mentioned as Kihartia, or the region of the Kirat people. The Kamrup kingdom extended in the Brahmaputra river basin, Bhutan, some part of Bengal and Bihar. During the reign of King Bhaskar Varman, Yuan Chuang had visited Kamrup. Students, in this chapter, we learnt about the different kingdoms in North India and that emerged in the period after the Mauryas. Similarly, we also learnt about the situation in the northeastern part of India during that period, and in next chapter we will get acquainted with the kingdoms of the south of the same period. Okay, in this way we already know about the Gupta dynasty, the Vardhan dynasty, and powers in Northeast India. Okay, students, now your homework. On page number 41, exercises given here. You have to solve or you have to write all question answers in your homework book. Okay, thank you.